Welcome back to J&A Homebuyers. We help people get deals done, and we help people who are facing, in this case, financial hardship. We talk all things real estate on this channel. Today we're going to be talking about people who are facing foreclosure, especially people who are facing foreclosure in Texas. We're going to cover things like, how does foreclosure work in Texas? How long does it take to foreclose in Texas? How much time do I have? What happens in foreclosure process in Texas? Essentially, like, hey, what are some of the notifications, etc. I'm going to be getting? And then last of all, we're going to talk about options for people facing foreclosure in Texas. If you're facing foreclosure, you're not alone. We talk to people every single week who are in the same boat you are. Life comes at you fast. Don't take the blame for it. But there are ways to help you out of the situation you're in. Give us a call. If you're an investor, connect with us. We're here in Houston, Texas. Actually, we're based in Katy, Texas. So we serve the whole greater Houston, Texas area. Happy to connect. So let's get into a few more details for today. All right, great. Let's dive into the content. How does the foreclosure process work in Texas, right? Let's start with time. On average, a foreclosure takes 162 days in Texas, but it can happen a lot faster than that. Legally, any foreclosure in Texas only requires 41 days from late payment to actually foreclose on the property. Now, there's a few notices and things that need to be given, need to be received, time, all that kind of stuff, but that is the limit that Texas sets for a foreclosure. So it can be super fast. You might be thinking, wow, is that like the fastest in the United States? Believe it or not, it's not. Wyoming has a speed at an average of 104 days for foreclosure. And then some states on the far other extreme, like Michigan, take like 2,600 days to foreclose. They have different judicial processes for foreclosure, etc. We're going to dive into that a little bit later here. So in short, 162 is the average, but it can be as fast as 41. When you get the notice, you often only have 20 days to fix your payments. After that, the lender can deny taking any extra payments, and they can force you to either sell your home, pay off the debt, or refinance, get out of the situation with that specific bank. So 20 days is what you have to work with. Find a fix fast when you get that first notice. What happens in foreclosure in Texas? What do they have to do? Do you have to go to court? Do you end up having this big hoorah, or what's the process like? Well, really in Texas, it's very different than some other states. So in all 50 states, you have really two forms of foreclosures. One is a judicial and one's a non-judicial. The judicial is where you actually have a civil case brought up against you. You would have a court hearing and you have some processes that go on. That's more like Michigan. Those will take a lot longer time to foreclose. In Texas, they have what's called a non-judicial process, which means that at the time of your purchase, you had a document that was filed with the county clerk. Harris County here is the one we work with the most frequently. And that document is called the deed of trust. So you signed this when you bought it or when you refinanced your property. And the deed of trust outlines, hey, I'm going to pay X amount as defined in the promissory note, breaks down what I'm going to pay. And if I don't, then the house can be foreclosed upon, which has a power of sale clause in that deed of trust, which allows the lender to foreclose on that property. So that's kind of how the functionality that works. They don't need a court hearing. They just need to show proof of non-payment. They need to show that, hey, that document was in fact filed at the time of purchase, or was in fact filed when that house was refinanced, and that gets the ball rolling for the foreclosure process. So really, all you have to have from Texas is just the mail sent out to you. Now, if you have a federally backed loan, you'll probably get some phone calls and other stuff like that too, but those are not requirements of the state of Texas. Those are requirements of the loan type that you got, which may be federally backed. So keep in mind, it's always open to options. This is just what Texas requires the banks to do as a minimum. So really, it's just a letter in the mail and then a follow-up letter down the road. Timing on those letters is you get a first letter for late payment and you have 20 days to fix this. And then you get another letter basically saying, hey, now you have to sell the property. They can actually force you to sell at that point, and they give you 21 days to do that. Now, the actual functionality of this, they give you 21 days, but it has to be, Texas requires that the property be auctioned in hopes that maybe if there's equity in that house, that you'll get a little bit of that equity. So they'll do it on the next auction date, and here in Harris County, it's always the first Tuesday of every month. That's when they auction the properties off. And the properties go to the highest bidder. But that being said, a lot of properties actually don't get bid on at all. In fact, maybe 20-30% of the properties actually get auctioned off. The rest go back to the banks, and then they go through another process called REO, different video, okay? So what can I do? If you are facing foreclosure, the biggest thing is reach out and find a real estate professional that can help you. We help people all the time. We hope you call us or visit us on our website, fill out the form. It only takes 2 seconds to kind of fill in your information there. One of our real estate experts will be in touch with you. Where we're different is we're actually licensed real estate agents. We are held to a higher code of ethics that many companies are not. But we have a lot of experience working with people, and so we're not going to first ask you when we first start talking to you, hey, you want to sell your home? No. We want to understand your situation. What are you in? What are your options? Is refinancing an option? Is another option with a family an option? We're going to assume right away that if there is another way for you fixing this, you're going to figure this out before we purchase your property anyway. So let's outline those first, figure out all your options, and then if you do want to sell, we're here for you. We can, of course, help purchase your property. We can close fast, but I cannot reiterate, it is important that you contact somebody as soon as possible, because in real estate, it's not like selling personal property like a phone or something. There are things that can go wrong. I've seen things where a survey says that maybe a neighbor built something over your property, and now that clouds your title. You can fix those things, but you need time to fix those things. So the earliest you can contact people, the better the chances are for you and their help. If you're wanting to talk to a government support agency, Google HUD. HUD is built to help people who are in distress. They can give you advice on how to work with your lender, talk with your lender, other things. They can give you advice on, hey, maybe talking to a real estate investor or other things as well. So they're a good government option for you. But again, reach out to us, call us, and hope we can help you.